Eric Fawcett was an aspiring leader who died about a decade ago, and it became the custom in Science for Peace to remember him once a year. And this year we're doing it in a very quiet way and very briefly. And I will restrict my words to just describing one of the very fine characteristics that Eric Fawcett had, which I think hasn't been mentioned in any of the previous forums of this type over the last 6 or 8 years. And it is this, and it's very relevant to what's happening today and tomorrow. Eric had an extraordinary, although he was a hard scientist and he was a physicist and had a very critical mind, he had the excellent property of always, when a new suggestion was brought forward, saying, oh yes, that's a very good idea or a very interesting idea. Of course, it might turn out the next day that it wasn't, but at least these new ideas got on the table because of him. And I think this is the sort of spirit in which we should enter into the discussions tonight and the ones that I know are going to take place tomorrow. Thank you.
Now let us enter to the topic for tonight, food and population issues. Of course, if there wasn't a problem, we wouldn't have to talk about it. But unfortunately, there are problems in that domain, and the news are full of it. The head of the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations 2 days ago went on a hunger strike in order to raise the awareness of the public of the food issues around the globe. There is a problem, and therefore we ought to have a close look at it and make sure we find solutions that are civilized and humane. The idea is to look at the issues in the full spectrum of issues as they are all connected. That's why we connected food and population for this evening.
Around the world we have about 6.5 billion people living, and more than 1 billion of them are hungry. More than 1 billion of them are overweight and obese. We have 3 speakers with 3 different perspectives, raising questions about sustainability of our agri-food system. But it's not just the sustainability of our agri-food system, but sustainability of our civilization.